If you're not familiar with being in the upper school black box, this is going to be very informal, this is going to be very relaxed. If you need to get up and take a phone call, if you need to get up because this is going longer than you intended, please, that's not disrespectful, you're free to do that. If you need to use the restroom, they're both right outside these doors. One is to the right, the other one, you're going to go wrap around to the left. There may be some high school students that are out in the commons area. If you're a lower school person, don't freak out, they're allowed to be in there, it's perfectly fine. And another story I wanted to tell. So earlier this morning, if you have been here, actually, this black box space looked very, very different than it does right now, because while it was set up for our morning session, we had to kind of somewhat break it down so our theater group could get in here, and then our tech theater. Well, I came in here just to take a look and see when they were going to be ready for me to kind of start converting this back. And I came walking through here not thinking anything about it, just kind of doing a classroom walkthrough. About 7th period during class change, a student came up to me. She goes, "Mr. Smith, can I see the bottom of your feet?" I was like, okay. And so I sat down and she looked at the bottom of my feet. She goes, "You know that paint was wet when you came into the black box." So if you look closely, you'll see a couple size 12s right here that were rocking their way out. Literally the scene of the crime. When I wanted to say I wanted to leave a mark at CSD, that's not what I had in mind. So I am Craig Smith. I'm the Executive Director of Community School of Davidson. This is my 2nd year at CSD, and one of the things that I've been telling anybody that's willing to listen, some people that probably aren't, just what a difference a year makes. I think back to this time last year, not just the Get Connected, but just everything at the beginning of the school year. I mean, how excited I was, but how new everything was to me. New to CSD, new to the role. I had so much to learn. I had so much to experience. Folks have done a really, really good job of telling me things that were going to happen during the year, but I was just like, I just need to live it. I need to experience it. And now, having that first year under my belt, I can honestly say with all sincerity, I'm even more excited for this school year. And I hope that the start of the 25-26 school year has gone as well for you and your students in your household as it has for me. Community School of Davidson, I don't have to tell this room, it's a special place. It's a special school. I believe that the reason that you've decided to take time out of your busy evening to be here tonight is because you're vested and you care about your students' experience and you care about your own experience as a parent at Community School of Davidson. I feel very blessed, I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in the role that I do here at Community School of Davidson, and I just look forward to an incredible school year working with each of you. Now, I look back at my slides from last year, and the Get Connected was really the Get Connected to Mr. Smith, because I look back at my slides and it looked like all I did was talk about myself for about 45 minutes. Now, I have complete only child syndrome, so if anybody wants to have a conversation where I just talk about myself, I can do that, but that's not what tonight's going to be about. Tonight's going to be more about you hearing about a multitude of opportunities that you as a parent can get connected in various ways at CSD this year. And the great thing is, what you're going to hear from multiple different people and multiple different avenues and affinity groups for CSD, that we're looking for any way that you can get plugged in and knowing that that's going to look different from family to family and person to person based on your skill set, based on your time, and based on what you're able to do. I always like to make sure that I put this up there, as you bear with our clicker. My email address is up there. I always try and take the opportunity to show that because I'm one of the rare folks that see it. My middle initial is actually in my email address. So it's C.S. Smith. I always tell folks that if they're in a situation and they're just not sure who to reach out to, they can always start with me, and I will make sure to divert them to the person that they need to. If it's something that I can take care of myself, I certainly will be happy to do so. And if it's a question that I don't know the answer, I do not have too much pride to tell you that I don't know. We'll work together to get the answer, but if it's something that I simply am not aware of or don't know, I'm going to be real with you, and we'll work together to figure it out. I also have my link tree up there. So if you see on my parent square post, I often put that in there, and that's a just a collection of different links, many of which are CSD related, some of which aren't, some of which are personal to me. I have zero issue, zero hesitation with embedding kind of the professional life and the personal life, so I feel like that's important as a digital leader, as a millennial educator, to show the proper good digital citizenship for our students, but also to know that I'm a human being. I'm not just some robot that walks around and tells our students to be your best every day. So those are ways that you can connect with me as you see fit. So as I talked about, what a difference a year makes. The experience that I had last year and just being truly embraced by this community, being truly embraced by our admin leadership team, which I'm going to introduce, or they're going to introduce themselves in a little bit, our staff, our teachers, our community as a whole, and our students who are absolutely incredible. Sometimes it's easy to take things for granted when we grow accustomed to just the norm. And I can tell this room that what we've got going on at CSD is so unique and is so different to so many other school experiences. We're not perfect. We'll never be perfect. There are always going to be opportunities for us to improve. There's always going to be opportunities for us to look and see how we can do things better. But what makes this school special is what you're going to hear the end theme tonight, and that is that partnership with parents and staff and students and administrators all together. So, as I alluded to, I do want to make sure that I have an opportunity to let our admin leadership team introduce themselves. I know for most of you, these are all familiar faces, so I'm going to give them an opportunity right now. I'm going to start with Amy.
Thank you. I just have to say, when I was back there trying to get these lights, and Craig says, Mr. Smith says, our brain trust is back there. I'm a little bit worried that I was even getting brain trust for these lights. I'm so sorry that it was layering up here. I feel like you can still feel confident that your kids are in good hands at the upper school, even if I can't turn lights off. My name is Amy Tamales, and I'm the head of upper school. We're so glad that you're here today. Thank you.
Well, I can't say anything better because I couldn't help either, but I am Anne-Marie McAfee, one of the upper school administrators, and we see some new faces, and I can't tell you how delighted that you came tonight and to be a part of our community. Thank you.
I'm Lori Morrow. I'm the Community Relations Specialist, and I'll be speaking to you in a minute about some ways you can get plugged in and sharing some of the upcoming events we have this year.
Hi, I'm Lisa Humphreys. I'm one of the lower school administrators and the K-12 ECD Director. Hi, I'm Leslie Tomko. I am the head of the lower school.
Hi, I'm Sherry Foreman. I'm the head of Ripple, which is our blended hybrid program out at Spartan Park.
And I'm Amy Teckenbrock. I'm also a lower school administrator. And like everybody else said, we're happy you guys are here tonight.
And she was in the morning, she was not able to be here this evening, but Erica Bowen is another upper school administrator. She's primarily 8th grade, not solely 8th grade. We've got a high school student that needed some sort of schedule change. They're probably running around the building looking for Miss Erica. She's the most popular person in the first week of school. I'm going to say this is with a term of endearment, but the collective years that this group has been at CSD is a lot. And I mean that as a compliment. But you talk about a vested group of administrators, many of which started off in the classroom, many of which have worn very many different hats at CSD, but to be able to look at an admin leadership team and know that they have been this vested, not just as education leaders, but also as parents. You talk about folks that are walking the walk, not just talking the talk. This group is right here. So, introduce them now. I'm not going to make y'all get up and move around and everything like that, but we are going to do a little bit of a roll call so we can know who's in the room. So we'll start, since we're in the upper school district, you're just going to raise your hand. Raise your hand if you are an upper school parent. If you have 8 through 12. Very good, thank you. Now, realize some of you are going to be raising your hand multiple times, so let's go. If you have middle school 6, 7, if you are a 6, 7 parent, okay? Very good, thank you. K-5, where are our K-5 parents? Nice, welcome, welcome. Do we have any Ripple parents here? This is very good, thank you. Thank you. Now, if you have a kindergartner, we have some kindergarten parents, very good. It was fun last week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday was the first day that all the kindergartners were together. It was after the staggered start. And I made a point to be at station 0 as those families were coming in. And it's so funny, kids. You can see the drastic difference of the first-time kindergarten parents, because they're just holding on, and they're all emotional. Then you got the last ones that are just waving from the parking lot as those kids go in and everything in between there. So, how about senior parents? Senior parents. Very good. Very good. Last time, senior parents. So your senior is your last one. Very good. Very good. And then last, but certainly not least, do we have any new to CSD parents here tonight? New to CSD. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. That's great. That is great. So I hope, especially for you all, that the first week of school and change has gone very, very smooth. This can be very daunting coming to a new school, especially when so many people know each other. So thank you so much for being here tonight. So, moving right along. Revamped, brand new website. How about it, huh? Yeah. We recognized that it was time, that it's something that we needed to have done. We had a team of folks last year who really looked into some various website options, and fortunately, the one that we decided to go with is completely embedded with Parent Square. Now, please know, Parent Square will continue to be your primary communication for everything internal, especially if it's time-sensitive and urgent, and if it pertains specifically to your student's classroom or grade. Parent Square is going to be where that communication is housed. But the nice thing is when we have these announcements, they automatically go to our website. The website address has not changed, so if you had ever bookmarked that before, you're going to access it the same way. Most folks that visit our website do so from an external standpoint. So a lot of folks learn about CSD through what they see in that type of website design, and the fact that now it's much more professional, it's much cleaner, it's organized, there's pictures of staff on there, we have all of our affinity groups that are all housed in one place. So if you haven't taken a moment to check out that website, please do so. And I want to make sure I give a shout out to a couple folks. We had a couple people volunteer. Kimberly Keith, Michaela Hodge, just put in hours and hours this summer doing a lot of legwork getting ready to roll that thing out. And then Mark Houlihan, who is our new Director of Technology, he's been here for a while, but he's now stepped into the Director of Technology role. So very excited about our new website that is on the front page of our school. So now, as she said that she was going to be coming up here, I'm going to hand off to Dr. Lori Morrow.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. It is so exciting to see everybody here, families that have been here, families that are new to CSD, and all of the great configurations in between. As Mr. Smith said, I am in my second year here at CSD, and this truly is a special place. And part of what I'm going to share with you tonight is some of the fundraising efforts that we have in place, some of the ways in which you can get connected and plugged in, and some of the ways in which you can volunteer and help us here at CSD. Now this morning, we have a little clicker issue, so if I look like I don't have a trigger thumb here, I'm just trying to change the slides. But want to talk to you about some of our fundraising events. We are going to maintain the tradition of the community cards. This is a significant fundraiser for us, and it's a way in which we can honor our local business partners and get our students, our families, our staff out into the community helping these merchants. We are going to shoot for a November distribution this year, so as you're planning your holidays, your gifts, your little treats for anyone, don't forget the community cards will be out just in time. I know all of the members of the Morrow family last year got a discount card in their Christmas card, whether they liked it or not. Gave them to my neighbors, went to a couple cookie swaps. They're just great little gifts to not only support our school, but to also show people that we appreciate our businesses and that we work in partnership with them. We are also going to hold Giving Tuesday again this year. Last year was the first time we did it, and Mr. Smith and I will be kicking off with a video that will explain about Giving Tuesday when it gets closer. And one of the things we'll ask folks to do is, if they're so inclined, they can make a donation to the school, or we'll have the option again where you can honor a teacher. We had a lot of folks last year that gave donations in honor of their child's teacher, their child's coach, their child's administrator, and we do that again in a way in which we give them a certificate and we then show them that they're continually loved and that this community continually supports them. And again, it's a way to give back to CSD. We're going to hold our Fresh Take Conference again this year. This is a conference that we open our doors here at the school to all of our neighboring educators, whether they're charter schools, public schools, whether they're from parochial schools. Last year we had some preschool teachers here. We were so excited for that. And so this is on a day that your children will be home with you, but it's a day that's dedicated to our teachers so they can continue to learn and continue to grow. This conference is for teachers. It's planned by teachers. We have a rock star team of teacher leaders that is stepping up and already hard at work planning this conference. So we're looking forward to hosting Fresh Take again. And so you'll be seeing some information about that going out this year. Now, here is where I would like to invite you and ask for your help. So we will be hosting the Fall Festival this year on October 24th. This is senior night, and it will be at Spartan Park. It will be before the football game. And we're really trying to build the K-12 community here as we continue to bring our families together. We've got a parent liaison, Lindsay O'Brien, who has already been hard at work planning this, but we need some more help. So if you would like to be part of this effort in any way, your schedule would allow you. You can see there's a QR code there and it will bring up a Google form. You can just type in your name, your email, your phone number, and any kind of interest areas. And again, we're offering these opportunities for you to get plugged into some of these bigger events in any way you can. We know that we certainly don't have everybody that can come to a meeting once a month, or that can participate in certain ways. Whatever your schedule allows, whatever your time commitment is, it might just be running around on Saturday collecting some gift cards to raffle off or whatever it might be. We value you as parents, as partners, and we value your time and what you can do, all of us together. The big event we have this year, and I mean big, I'm already staying up late at night thinking about this, is our auction and gala. This is an event we do every other year here at CSD, and is again a significant fundraiser. We're going to hold it on May 15th, and it's going to be at the venues at Langtree. So everybody who's got their phones out, you can go ahead and mark that date down on your calendar. And also, we'd love for you to sign up to be on this committee, because this is going to be a big lift, but it's going to be a night that will be a night of celebration, a night of thanking everyone, and a night in which we really just all come together as a community and honor how special CSD is. So we're looking for all kinds of possible volunteers, and we'll have some different opportunities. What we're doing right now with this QR code is we're just asking folks to sign up, and then we'll get together our core committee and we'll start working from there. So we're very excited to put this on for you this year and host this event. And again, this is another great way for you to get plugged in and to support the school. Oops. All right. We also have a newly formed Spirit Wear committee. We have a parent liaison who is leading that effort as well. And we have a parent that who was here this morning, Caitlin Beach, and her email is at the bottom. They are doing the Spirit Wear for the schools. Now this is separate from what is happening with the athletics, but this Spirit Wear can be more customized, and they've done some things for different teams, for some different clubs. I have already ordered my pink shirt and pink sweatshirt. And so they've got a lot of different offerings. So if your kids are in need of spirit wear, here is a great place for you to access that. And then what are some other ways that you can get involved, that you can really jump in here at CSD? Attend events like this one. I challenge you as you're walking out of the room tonight to make 2 acquaintances of someone that you don't know, that you have not met tonight. And as you think about going to those events, keep that strategy up as you build your circle of families and friends here at CSD. Volunteer. Our teachers always are looking for help in the classroom, and sometimes that's physically in the classroom, sometimes that's maybe taking some things home and doing some things after hours for them. Stay in touch with your child's teacher. You saw all of our administrators here. They often have things or little projects at the campuses that they could use some volunteer help with. Certainly, we hope that we continue to seek donations as we work to support our school and to make sure that we have everything that we need in our classrooms. If you are interested, we are seeking sponsors for the Fresh Take Conference that I mentioned earlier. We recognize and honor those sponsors, and we have about 200 teachers that come here, and so it's a great way for you to get your business or your the word out of what you do. And then finally, there are some corporations that make sponsorships. So if you give a donation, check with your corporation. They often will do a simultaneous corporate sponsorship. So those are some ways that you can continue to get connected. All right, finally, we're going to continue our give back events with some of our local merchants, and I know this is really hard to see, I'm so sorry. We schedule these events monthly, and we look at this as a chance for families to connect together outside the school, maybe at a restaurant, at a shopping venue, wherever those events might be. This also, again, allows us an opportunity to shout out and showcase our local business partners. So these are some ways you can get together and you can help us, you can get connected. This is my email address up here, which I know it's hard to see, but again, will be out there. I welcome any feedback or any thoughts from any of you. If you have any connections or if you have any business ideas, certainly just shoot me an email. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. But again, we thank you for being here tonight, and we thank you for all that you do for CSD, because you are our #1 partner as parents, and we appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you.
All right, and now we are going to keep going. We're going to hear from a couple of our affinity groups. And when we talk about the uniqueness of CSD, one of those things is which Sarah Thurber, if you know Sarah, she was speaking on behalf of SAS earlier this morning, and she talked about the triangle being the academics, the athletics, and the performing arts, and all three of those areas, how they're just seamlessly blended at CSD. And I'm really, really excited to have the next couple guys come on up here and talk about some of our affinity groups, which are additional ways to get plugged in, but even more so to hear how they are working side by side. So we're going to go fresh off of Interstate 85 or 77. We're going to have Eric come on up here.
Actually, Emily's taking it.
Oh, I take that back. Emily's going to speak on behalf of Sarah. Very good.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody, friends, new and old. I see a lot of faces I know, and I've already met some new people today, which is exciting. My name is Emily Duncan. Normally, this beautiful face over here, Eric Rolls, is the face of the Spartan Arts Supporters, also called SAS. But as some of you can relate, some of you can't even fathom, this is Eric's last back to school address. He's the parent of a senior. So I told him to sit, I take care of it. I'm sorry that you don't get to experience him tonight, meet him afterwards. He's amazing. All right, so like I said, I am Emily Duncan. I am a parent volunteer with SAS, Spartan Arts Supporters. My children are in 10th, 8th, 6th, and 3rd grade. So I've been around the block of CSD multiple times, it feels. But SAS is a parent-led organization that supports all things the arts at CSD, but it also encourages collaboration with the whole CSD community through lots of different volunteer and donation opportunities. Speaking of volunteering, I have a once-in-a-lifetime, until next year, opportunity for someone to start their volunteering right now. So who would like to kick off your SAS involvement by handing out magnets? No one? Yes, thank you. You are now a seasoned volunteer. All right, so I've got a deal that I'd like to make with all of you. I want to do a trade 1 for 1. Okay, I have this list right here. for Spartans Art Supporters sign up. Inside of this clipboard is a VIP calendar of all the fall opportunities for the arts, shows, events that we have coming up. To get access to this calendar, all you have to do is put down your name, your email address, and your child's name, or your children's names, and their grades. All right, so I made this goal with myself that I was going to try to get more sign-ups than this morning session. They filled on those 2 sheets. I'm not sure that we have the numbers, but you do have supportive grandparents. You might know their email addresses. They don't have to be here. They won't know. Well, they will. They'll get an email from us. But if you have people that you want to know about the arts that are happening at CSD, feel free to write them down. And then I will pick this up at the very end. So whoever, when it finishes at the very end, you guys can just set it down. I'll start with you guys. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to keep it brief. But SAS started 3 years ago to help organize the great opportunities that were happening in the upper school arts. But we quickly saw that there was a need for more parent involvement, and not only for upper school arts, but also for the middle school. Okay, on the next page, I'm not off book like Eric is. Yeah. All right. So SAS is a free organization. How much does it cost? Free. Costs nothing for anyone to join. Who can join? Anyone. You don't even have to have a kid at CSD. Anyone can join. All you have to do is want to support the arts. It doesn't matter if you have a kid in elementary school, middle school, high school, Ripple. If you want to support the arts, then join our list. There are 3 different ways that you can get involved. First is donations. That can be through concessions. You can donate snacks and drinks for us to sell. If you're like me and you have your high school trombone sitting in your closet, get it fixed up, show it a little love, donate it on to our band, and someone can play it there. Art supplies, working cameras, costumes. We do so many things that need costumes. Another way is volunteering. You can sign up to supervise kids, middle schoolers for their dance performances or their tech week. I promise it's not as scary as it sounds. I've done it many years. The professionals who put this on, they really set it up for you to just come in, you know your job, and then you're out. But it makes a world of difference, and it's helpful when it's not the same, 10 parents who do everything. If you don't have a kid in middle school, but you have a kid at CSD, you can come and chaperone these kids and kind of pave the way for when your kids come to middle school and those elementary school parents can come and support. Or if you have a kid in athletics who doesn't do the arts, but they're friends in the arts, you can come and volunteer. And just like you could come work concessions, us arts parents can do concessions for athletics. We can kind of do this trade so the parent supporting the child gets to watch their child and doesn't have to always be the one behind the scenes or out in the lobby doing the work. Other things, if you have skill sets, painting, building, you can help build sets. And then you can work in sessions and you can do ticket taking. There are a lot of different ways to volunteer your time. And lastly, sponsoring. SAS is how much to be a member?
It's free.
It's free, but there are opportunities for businesses, families, and individuals if they would like to sign up to be a financial sponsor. You can sponsor the fall season, you can sponsor the spring season, or do a one-time donation. If you leave here and sneak out without putting your name and email on the clipboard, you're going to get in your car, you're going to get home, that nagging little voice is like, doggone it, I want to know more. I wish I had signed up. You can go to csdarts, ARTS.org. That website will tell you all you need to know, how to get involved, and also, you actually don't have to email Craig Smith to figure out who to contact, because all the people's email addresses are right there. You know, if you want to do volunteering, you contact this person. If you want to donate, you contact this person. It's all laid out. So I really hope that I get to see y'all's faces at a lot of the different opportunities offered, many of them right here out in this Arts Common, because especially the new to CSD people, you don't know what you're in for. Like, if you take advantage of what CSD offers, you will be blown away and you'll never be bored, because there's always something going on. So I hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you. And we're going to keep on rolling over to the Spartan Athletic Club. Mr. Borland.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. So, my name is Josh Worley. I am the president of the Spartans Athletic Club, which is basically our revamped booster club that we started last November. Completely volunteer-led, separate entity from the school, but we have administrators from the school sitting on our board, so every dollar that comes in to the athletic club and every dollar that goes out has CSD oversight of it. One of the things I wanted to speak to you, and Emily led into it, is our efforts to combine those three pillars, right, with the arts, athletics, and education or academics. And I wish I could take credit for this Spartan Spirit card. Unfortunately, I have to give it to Eric. He came up with this idea over the summer. What this is a discount card where you can purchase it. You can get a discounted admission, get 10 spots, it's a punch card, get 10 spots to either an athletic event, any home regular season athletic event, or to any arts event. So you don't know what you want to attend, you don't know how many you're gonna go to, you can use them in either one. But for me, and I think for Eric too, it's more a gesture to show that we want people that have never been to Spartan Park but live and breathe in here to get to Spartan Park, and vice versa, and Griffin Gym, and vice versa. We want those people that have never been in here to come here and to experience that. A lot of us have been lucky. I'm lucky enough to have a graduate from CSD, and my daughter was very active in athletics. She was also very active in here. We had several nights where she was playing a Power Club football game, and then we had to drive down the road so she could do a singer-songwriter showcase. There are opportunities, especially for those of you that are in the K through 7, there are opportunities across the board. So these kind of things where you can participate in both, you don't have to pick one or the other at this school. That's one of the coolest things about CSD and about this side of the school is you can participate in a handful of events, whether you're just trying it out or whether you're going to go to college to pursue that sport or that art activity, and those are places where you're. So the other way that we want to get connected, not only with our friends in the arts community, is through knowing and engaging with every student of all ages. We have an engagement committee that we formed this fall, where we are really targeting those K through 7 families. So last week, we went out and we set up something called a middle school theme night for our volleyball game. I believe it was last Wednesday. I was unfortunately out of town, but from my 11th grader and from everybody I've talked to, it was the most highly attended volleyball match, especially for a first regular season contest that we've had in recent history. The student section was packed, so high schoolers were there. Middle school kids were there. They got in free with a paying adult. And the girls performed well. They came back from down 2-0 to win in 5 sets, which was a huge win for them and a huge night. And the reason for that, not the reason for that, but a big part of that is that energy that it brings to Griffin Gymnasium. We're going to do the same thing this Friday. Middle school night football game, right? So every middle school family gets in free. And we're going to go a step farther than just getting them in free. With the help of our cheer team, we're going to have them form the tunnel that the players run through. And at halftime, they're going to have an opportunity to come on the field and actually participate in some halftime activities. And then we're going to do the same thing with our elementary school kids next week. So September 5th, we play a big game in Spartan Park, and we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to continue that throughout the season with basketball, with baseball, with soccer, with the different sports, to really try to get not only our kids that are maybe K through 7 that haven't experienced the high school athletics, but also those families, so you can make connections like what we talked about. Another way that we're trying to engage is with our parents, right? So we want to get them out here. We want to have the events where they can socialize and feel like you have a club, you have a group to hang out with and to go to these things with, to help with carpool when those things arise. We did an event earlier this month where we brought some coaches out. Coach Blisco spoke to us a little bit, and we brought a lot of the parents out. More of an adult-only event. So we want to provide those kind of opportunities, and we'll continue to provide those throughout the year. And then the last way we really want to connect is through our community. So we have a lot of small businesses, great small businesses in the Lake Norman area. We are throughout the Lake Norman area, between Spartan Park here and here in Davidson. And we want to engage those small businesses to be one of our sponsors, to work with us there. And then in turn, we help promote them. One of the coolest things happened since I've been doing this summer. We actually had a former CSD student a graduate come back to us. She graduated from here, Brittany Burkhardt is her name. She graduated from here. She went off to NC State, got her degree, and now has come back and is a business leader in the insurance industry here in Lake Norman. And she decided to sponsor our athletics department, like help with being a sponsor, which is really cool to see how this school has grown. Now we're educating these people. They're coming back to be part of the economy, and then they're also giving back to the school. And in turn, we have a couple graduates. We have one graduate that we're working with that's doing a lot of the videography for our football program. We have another current student that has his own media business. We're working with him to do some homecoming photos and videos. So again, trying to connect with all those people, whether they're athletics, arts, education, or academics. We want to connect all the groups and try to get that piece, here around CSD. So there's some different opportunities on our website, gocsdspartans.com, or you can access the main CSD website and just click athletics. There's low or no cost opportunities with volunteering. We need plenty of people, as everybody does, to make this thing work. We don't want anybody getting trampled by football players, so we got to have some people, keeping the lines there on Friday nights. You can be a member and save some money on admission throughout the rest of your CSD career or your kids' career, and then of course we would love to have sponsorship as well. So thank you, Mr. Smith, and thank you all for your time.
When you talk about community, and obviously it's the first word of the name of the school, and it gets utilized in so many different venues, but when you are part of a charter school community, one of the uniqueness and sometimes the challenge is the fact that geographically we serve so many different neighborhoods and towns that these community events that are based at the school, whether it's athletic, whether it's performing arts, that is those opportunities for our families to come together in a way that's different than the environment within the normal school setting. And those are so important for our kids. That's honestly why you see elementary and middle school students have so much fun at these community athletic events, because they get to see the kids that they're friends with at school that maybe they don't see a whole lot, because you got 5 group of friends, and one's in Mooresville, one's in Denver, one's in Charlotte, one's in Cornelius, and one's in Davidson. So those are the types of events that, to what Mr. Worley said about that volleyball game, and I've never wanted us to win a volleyball game as bad as we did Thursday night. If you didn't know, then you know why I felt that way. But you could just see, so there were a lot of kids there that had no interest in the volleyball game, but they were just so excited to be with each other. So please consider these upcoming events that we have going on, because our Spartan Athletic Club and SAS are working very, very hard with that. So we've heard a lot of folks come up here, and each and every one of those opportunities to get connected are important. But the one thing I really, really want to stress, and honestly, of all the things that you've heard, if there was one message about parents as partners that I want you to take away, there is no partnership more important than the partnership that you have with your student's teacher. There is no partnership that is more valuable and that will impact your student more than having a strong, supportive relationship with your child's teacher or teachers. They may have 2, they may have 8. You've got 4 Spartans, you've got a lot of teachers that you are partnering with. But truly, that is what the greatest impact for your student to be successful, to know that they can see that their teacher and their household are truly partners. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be things that come up. There may be questions, there may be issues, there may be items that you're doing carpool and you hear your 5th grader in the back seat say, talk about something that happened in class today, and they're all, joking about it, or maybe they're talking about something that seems like it, that just doesn't sound right. I need to find out what's going on here. That's where that partnership, engage with your students' teachers. And on that note, and I think about all the hands that went up for all the different buildings, these are our curriculum nights that we have coming up. Now, all of this information has been shared, but these are golden opportunities. These and the covenant conferences that I hope many of you took the opportunity to do before school, because those covenant conferences are so valuable. I talk to educators in other school systems, and they wish that they had an opportunity to conduct covenant conferences the way that we do here. But curriculum nights, we got the upper school, which is Tuesday, after Labor Day, 6 to 7:30. These are in calendar order. We've got the Ripple one on Wednesday, September 3rd. There'll be specific information about how those cohorts will be there. We have the K-5 elementary the following week on Monday, 6 to 7:30, and this is a cringe moment, but the 6-7 one is, except if you have a middle schooler, you know where that's coming from. That's on that Wednesday, 6 to 7:30. And I know some of you right now are sitting there thinking, I've got 3 out of 4 of evenings that are going to be locked in. It's a lot of work, but it is so worth it. Even if you can just stop by and just introduce yourself to your student teacher if you are in the beginning of a loop, or you're new to the class, or if you're new to CSD. So I would encourage you to take advantage of those. Yes, Emily.
Say, I don't know, how many sessions are y'all doing each? Like if you have 2 elementary school different grades, they do 2 or 3 different sessions, right?
Yeah.
So you can make both of them.
Thank you for pointing that out. Okay. So if you were to ask your student, what does Mr. Smith say to you? I would like to think that the 3 words that they're going to tell you that Mr. Smith says for us to be our best. And it's a simple mantra, and it's a simple mindset, but it's something that I put so much stock in because it doesn't matter what your skill set is. It doesn't matter what your talents are. It doesn't matter which areas you need to grow and develop. Every single one of our Spartans, every morning that they wake up, they have the ability to be their best. And it's never about being perfect. Lord knows I make mistakes every day, and I tell our students I make mistakes every day. But it's focusing on being the best version of yourself, not worrying about anyone else's best. I tell our students, no different than I ask our staff, that if they can focus on being the best version of themselves, that is success. And that looks different for each and every one of our students. And what makes CSD so great is that the mission and the basic school framework of this school is to see each one of our students as individuals and to do whatever we can as a staff for that student to thrive as an individual. And to me, that's what sets CSD apart from other high-performing schools, is the individualized attention, which I'm sure some of our students wish they didn't have so much individualized attention, but we see them as who they are, and we do everything we can for them to be the best version of themselves. Now here's the shift. It's also the expectation for each and every one of our parents, because each one of us have the ability to be our best in whatever that looks like. And as we talked about, and we heard all these different ways that you can get involved, all we ask is for our parents to find a way to plug in what is appropriate for them and their lifestyle and their availability, but for nothing else, continue to be partners with our teachers and our staff. Now, one of the things that you hopefully saw that was posted on Friday, if you're new to CSD, or even if you're a 20-year veteran parent, there is a basic school parent book club that's being kicked off, and there's a bit.ly on there. If you're even just remotely interested, I would encourage you to submit on that bit.ly. It's going to be a parent-driven, parent-led book club of the basic school framework by Ernest Boyer. There's going to be one, it's going to be beginning in October. There will be another session in the spring. If I remember correctly, the fall sessions are going to be morning sessions, and the spring sessions are going to try and hit our evening folks. So if you're not able to do the October one, but you're interested, there will be another opportunity. When I share this out, the Parent Square post is going to be embedded. But this is a really, really great opportunity for folks that, again, if you've been a veteran or if you're brand new and everyone in between, to really learn about kind of the why behind some of the things that CSD does. I did an independent basic school study last year. I read it once and I read it again because I had to learn about the why behind a lot of things. And it was really funny because I had an awareness externally, and I was reading through that, and there was a lot of these epiphanies like, oh, that's why. And there's a lot of those moments, I'm sure, from a parent. So just throwing that out there, plug in. Again, that's completely parent-led. Now, as I was talking about being your best, this was a question that was submitted last year. And I'm going to read it. The slogan, "Be Your Best," can put a lot of pressure on people, adults and kids alike, in a way that leads to burnout. How are you going to bring balance to this? Nobody can be their best at all times or in all areas of life. I loved that that question was submitted last year because it completely opened up to recognize that we're not machines. Our students are not machines. We're not machines as parents. Being your best looks different each day. It's tough being a parent. I've got 2 middle schoolers at home. Okay? There's days where I come home and I'm like, who are these humans that are sitting across the dinner table from me? Okay? But if we, as the parents, model what we expect out of our students, that is being a partner. Okay? And engaging in an appropriate way with our teachers and supporting our staff, our admin. You are not a machine. There are days where it's tough, there's days where it's challenging, but every morning you wake up with the opportunity to be the best version of yourself as a parent, no different than our students when they come in every morning. So that's how we're going to be our best in 25-26. I thank each and every one of you very much for giving up your time to be here tonight. But I thank you in advance, as Dr. Morrow said, of having 1 or 2 conversations with somebody who wasn't here tonight. Because that is where folks are able to plug in ways maybe their schedule didn't allow themselves to be here tonight. Maybe they wanted to be here, but they couldn't. This is a very, very involved, very engaged community, and we are looking to capitalize on our parents and our folks being their best. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Appreciate it.